Hello, this is Rocco Beatrice. I'm the Managing Director for Estate Street Partners, and today I want to talk to you about the nursing home. It's a complicated subject, but basically if you are 65 and above, or you have parents around that age, and there's going to be a need to enter a nursing home, as of right now, if you have any assets, they have to be spent down to the last $2,000 that you have. If you're husband and wife, it gets complicated, and you are going to need somebody to help you out. It's tough to do a 2-minute video and explain the intricacies of the nursing home. But basically it's this: if husband and wife have assets, they consider that to be countable assets. The CDs, home, insurance policies, any other cash that you have, the second home, all those assets, they become countable assets that you have to spend down to the last $2,000. It doesn't matter who owns the assets, okay? The state, and each state has some intricacies, but basically the federal government controls how the computations are made. In order to reduce the potential liability of the spend-down provision, it's very important that husband and wife do this type of planning early. There is a 5-year look back, 60 months, and the 60 months begin on the day that you file your application to receive Medicaid. Now, Medicaid was intended for poor people that don't have the money. But today, that is a fallback for everybody. The government essentially is going to be funding. They don't want to fund. The state doesn't want to fund. So this intricacy or complexity comes down to basically, if you have any assets, they want you to pay. Period. Now, when you do the computations of countable assets, not countable assets, like for example, a car would be a countable asset, but your home would be. So if you own a home, as long as somebody's going to be living there, there are exclusions back and forth. There's all kinds of exclusions, and that's something that you really do need some help with. The understanding that you have now about the nursing home care, the earlier you take action, the better off you're going to be. Because when you enter the nursing home, it's too late. Now, what kinds of things can you possibly do to get around this? Well, if you plan early enough, one of the ways is to put assets in an irrevocable trust with an independent trustee, because they become third-party assets. You no longer own those assets once they go to the irrevocable trust. And it has to be irrevocable. It has to be an independent trustee. So on the date that you apply for the Medicaid, depending where you are in the 5-year period, let's make the assumption here that you do the planning early enough and the 5 years have gone, it's not part of the Medicaid computation. There's no excluded period. You don't have to spend down anything because you don't own the assets. But let's say that you do the trust today. You put your assets and you put your home, your CDs and so forth in the trust. 3 years from now, either you or your wife go to a doctor and voila, pretty soon you're going to have to go into a nursing home. Well, at that point, you have to make a decision. Do you apply for the nursing home Medicaid or you don't? Well, consensus is today that you do not apply for Medicaid. If you're at 3 years into the program, the basics are you pay for the 2 additional years. So you pay year 4, year 5, and after year 5 is safely gone, you then apply for Medicaid because it's beyond the statutory period of 60 months. So that's basic about how to work with Medicaid. So if you need Medicaid assistance, the planning is best done when things are calm, not as an emergency basis. Thank you. This is Rocco Beatrice. For more information, please go to our website, ultratrust.com.